everyone, this is Miss Moriarty, and I'm here to discuss with us topic 4.6, which is all about watersheds. Now, what is a watershed? It's actually all of the land that drains into a specific body of water. For example, here in Whippany, there actually is the Whippany watershed, and the Whippany River is then a part of that watershed that ends up actually connecting to then other larger rivers and eventually even a larger body of water. Watersheds can be determined by slope, maybe ridges of the land, and all of those can play a role in how the runoff and the direction of the water is going to travel. Some other things that play roles in watersheds might be the amount of vegetation, the soil's composition. We know that more vegetation creates more infiltration and more water can be then recharged in the ground. A greater slope typically means a faster velocity, so faster moving water, faster moving runoff, maybe even more soil erosion in the end. Soil permeability, right? Thinking back to when we talked about soil composition, the more permeable or porous a soil may be, we might see a greater infiltration rates, which may end up determining how much runoff may be captured by then the soil or erode the soil. Human activities that may impact the water quality found in the watershed can be things like clear cutting, deforestation, right, removing vegetation, urbanization. So that would be going in, and once again, probably deforestation would be involved in that, but that would be the implementation of, say, roads and maybe even draining the water out of the watershed. Building dams, so that would be stopping the flow of a river or maybe changing the flow of a river. Um, that can have effects on the watersheds, soil erosion, and can even promote water pollution. And also, same thing with mining, that also plays a role in the water pollution of watersheds. Now, with this topic, it's very brief in Unit 4, and we're going to actually come back to watersheds when we talk about water pollutions, and we'll actually do a modeling lab activity involving it. But for right now, it's important to just know what is a watershed, what are some abiotic conditions that influence the watershed, and human activities. Now, some solutions to the issues that I mentioned might be creating riparian buffer zones along the watershed. So that would be planting more vegetation to help prevent erosion, maybe some sort of enhanced nutrient removal. Especially in areas that have lots of fertilizers or maybe even manure. We know all of that nutrient pollution can actually be carried off into the watershed via runoff. So if we can remove it, that would be better. Septic tank upgrades to ensure that whatever's found in the septic tank doesn't actually end up in the groundwater, which could end up eventually in the watershed. Um, Animal manure management, kind of similar to our nutrient removal. Also, the planting of cover crops. So, cover crops would be planting other types of crops in between your desired crop. This can help turn over nutrients and helps keep the soil stabilized so that those nutrients and soil doesn't end up in your watershed when it ends up raining. All right, everybody, that's it for this video and for this topic. Make sure that you took notes and mark this as done. And don't forget to complete the Rock Your Watershed assignment that goes along with this topic.